Never thought we'd be back here on the idea that I'd packed it in, and now here we are.
Yeah. Out of retirement.
Out of retirement. So what are your thoughts?
Don't act like I ain't the man. I'm kicking my feet up, get frank like Aretha. I'm calm, but I'm teed up, just flip me a stack. The re-up just doubled up off of the muscle, I stuck to the task. They see me, I'm troubled, I'm bubbling up till it's stuck, and they want me to stay where I'm at. I'm good everywhere that I'm stepping, my presence is crucial. You know that this shit I don't change.
Exercise 1, put these fucking boots on. So, I've just always wore these for leg day, and I'm really superstitious, but they're an absolute nightmare to get on, and they're disgusting as well. They're certainly easier now. I've lost a little bit of weight when I was a bit heavier. Watch the blood pressure rise. I can get my fat feet in them, but yeah, this is honestly my biggest dread of the whole session is getting these things on. But like I said, since I've lost a bit more weight, my ankles are not as fat, so it's a little bit easier for sure. They look like boxing shoes, don't they? They're so ugly. Do you know what? Like you can't get them anymore. They are. I've searched high and wide for them because like I've just always worn them for leg day, and I must have thought they were cool at the time, and they were red, but they're discontinued obviously for a reason. Look at the state of them. They're like pixie boots.
They block in public, but know that I'm published, we settle for safety. Not in the street, but I'm on the same muscle, that schedule been driving her crazy. They talk like they know me, but know that they bluffing unless it's somebody that pays me. Keep minding your business, the money been printing, my nigga just gotta go get it. I'm in the zone through the winter, I'm trying to see Rome, see Venice. I'm at the summit, I'm thumbing my budget, my nigga, it's nothing, just part of my image. I need a minute.
Yeah, I just, to be honest, people play golf without a glove, but they kind of brought up doing that, but because I was brought up playing with a glove. Privileged background, but I just don't know any different. I couldn't play golf without one now.
How long did you play golf for?
Started when, I don't know, I played for like 5 years, man. I played lots of, I'm obviously quite obsessive, so I started off early and I got very, like, when my friends were out sort of drinking and partying, all I did was golf. So I ended up from like 24 handicap down to like scratching, like, well, not scratch, I was down to like 1 or 2 in like 2 years. I was just very obsessive. And then obviously it became a job and I started teaching, so I played for like 5-6 years, played a bit of county golf, and then when I was golfing, I had no idea of nutrition, so I just got fatter, and I worked in a golf shop, so I ate Mars bars, ate wine gums, drank Lucozade, got really fat. Then decided to lose a bit of weight, got into the gym, started to gym more obsessively, more than I golfed. So my golfing got worse, my gym got better. So I got more addicted to the rewards and the results side of the gym, so I just stopped playing golf, and now I do this a lot, obsessively. Mate, we went on this so we went to an arcade and there was like a virtual, did I tell Tom? We went on the VR stuff and it was like this kid's VR. 2 things, I got motion sickness and had to go home. I did, mental. Mate, I was well ill. I was well ill, I had to go home, I was at the line to go home. But then secondly, you've got these VR stuff on. You obviously sat in an arcade, but when you're in there, this was like, it was like a kid's game, you're going off a roller coaster and like, I was like, what the hell? And Lauren's like, George, like, give his kids, but like obviously out of context. Inside, you're inside this virtual reality world, and the outside, I'm just some weirdo sat in a chair swearing his head off. It was mental. So yeah, I had to go home. So that was my night room.
Come on. Yes. And again. Come on. And again. Come on, George. Hold it. Come on. 5 more, come on. 1. 2, and again. 3, 2 more, come on. 1 more. All the way, come on. Yes, yes.
Thank you. So we're going to start the session off with a leg extension. I like to do something more of an isolation. Today's more of a quad based workout. So I like to just do something that drives a little bit of blood into the muscle first and foremost, primes it, gets things firing. Also for me, I'm having a few issues with my knee, so I like to do something light, sort of higher rep. Ordinarily I'd kind of be sort of 2 sets of everything, sort of high intensity, low volume, but with this one I just play it by feel. I'm not saying that it's necessarily fluff, but I don't obsess over kind of progressive overload on this. It's more just I'll do 2, 3, potentially 4 sets if I feel like I need it. Again, just drive sort of blood into the muscle. Again, it allows me to get blood in there, helps my knees warm up, makes me feel safe and ready to kind of go into our bigger compound movements. So like I mentioned to you before, in this exercise, I'm not necessarily going to use the logbook. I still have my log and I still know what I lifted the last couple of weeks, but I'm not going to be married. This prep's going to be different for me. I'm not going to be married to the idea of beating my logbook. I think, listen, I'm not going to contradict myself and say that the logbook's not useful. it's incredibly useful because for people who can't necessarily push themselves or train at a level of intensity, it's a real good goalpost to work towards, therefore they have to bypass it. So it's a really, really useful tool. But for me, again, I'm using this movement to drive blood into the muscle primarily, and I know I'm able to train hard. So in terms of being able to train intensely is not my issue, so therefore I'm happy to pull it away. And like I said, if I obsess over the logbook, now my food's getting lower, I feel I'm weaker. If I obsess over it and make sure I'm beating numbers for the sake of beating numbers, my form gets sloppy and it's just not conducive to what it is that I want to do, especially as someone who's trying to sort of manage my joints this time around. So like I said, this prep's going to be slightly different. It's going to be a little bit more off feel at certain times, but like I say, not to take away the fact that the logbook can be important if you struggle to train intensely. Now we work, let's go. 5, come on. 4, come on, properly. 3, come on, 2 more. Up. Oh, 1 more, come on.
Yeah, all right, okay. We get it. No contest. Wait. Serve, nigga. The world been dying, days is numbered, check the climate, I'm sick of it. They had brain scheme to get the riches quick. I played a long game with a serene scene and the whip that's quick. From the back room to the hearts, I'm in the thick of it. I grind too hard for y'all not to see me a star, bitch. I'm raising a bar like they really pay me to talk. My life been in shambles, but I got handles. I'm finishing at the rim. I remind you time and again that I'm really him. Oh, you ain't up? This not just for the show, but bet you entertain. Anybody not for me is below me, blow me, you in the way. I live my dreams, I got it locked, the master keeping on me. Back in the field, running audibles with the team. Everything I got out the mother, told my truth. Shit, they praise you, they minimize you behind you. Just know I notice you. Stay woke, no joke, it really be the ones you closest to. Had to stop sleeping on myself like I ain't know the truth. Oh, this to me like it's really nobody code is this. And if you disagree, then you jaws and your claim get audited. Who you know do the beating and talking and write the harmonies. I'm really convinced there's nobody out here going hard as me. Which way the dog, they can't believe in me, so you can use me. Look at me now, you chose your route, I know you sick to see it. You talk a lot, all that flop, but that's not harmless. Capping your status, we back, ain't nobody bras us to the ones that held me down for the count. Look at what growth will do. I'm the kid from the cul-de-sac, feeling double set for loot. They pay to play my shit back. Ain't no way I'm going back until I'm fossil fuel to the flame, just like I'm supposed to do. Enough of the code switching, been hitting my soul, been on the road, so ready to grow. So get to know me.
1 more.
Keep your head up, I want you to grow with me. See this gold on me, want you to glow with me. Been hitting my soul, been on the road, so ready to grow. So get to know me. Keep your head up, I want you to grow with me. See this gold on me, want you to glow with me. I've been on a job.
And that set has fuck all to do with my prep or my show. That one's for me. This machine is a literal representation of life pulling you down. You got to fucking push back up. So as cliche as it sounds, that set is for me every single week. That has nothing to do with my prep, nothing to do with my show. That one's for me. Food's at its lowest, output's at its highest, and that is an all-time BB, yeah. And that's the difference. I'm fearful of repeating what JP says, but it's true. Like, you sit there and you fucking make a decision whether you're going to make that set or not. That is a decision. That set is done in the mind before the set is done. And again, I'm fearful of sounding like one of my idols, but I can totally see from his perspective as to why. It means you sit there and you fucking decide if you win or not, and that's the difference. That's the difference. Fuck. Strong. Hop. 5. Go on, and again. 4. Come on. Oh, straight back in. Let's go. Come on, and again. 3. Yep. Oh, 2 fucking more. Yep. Yes. All day. Last time we did that, he had a headache for 3 days. You can't hear me, it's fine. Hey, I was saying last time we did that, you had a headache for 3 days.
3 weeks.
3
weeks. It wasn't a headache, it was a tumour.
It was internal bleeding for 3 weeks, yeah. But yeah, listen, lots has changed over the last couple of months, and I want to come back and document what it is that we're going to do. So The idea in itself was to step away from bodybuilding, competing totally. So therefore the last couple of months have looked a little bit different. The goal has been very different to what I've been trying to do, which is lose a bit of weight. So long story short, full circle, the idea is to step away from bodybuilding competitively and now jumping into a show. So we've, like I say, lost weight over the last sort of 3 months, started to look all right. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna create a purpose or a focus towards the back end of the year. I'm gonna jump into a photo shoot, invited in clients to kind of come in on board and kind of go through the experience with me for 2 reasons. I think it'd be good for them to kind of get an insight as to what it is that I do over the years that I've kind of built up and the experience that I've gained, but also just get to do it together. We've grown massively as a team this year, which has been lovely. So I kind of want to give back to them a little bit. It's gonna be a real nice way to finish the year in the sort of final quarter of the year where it's very easy to kind of put your baggy jumpers on and just kind of sit and hide away with food. So it's going to be a cool back end. So anyway, me being me, can't sit still, lost a bit of weight, started to look all right. And I was like, oh, what shows is it going to jump into? So there's a show in 8 weeks time, so I'm going to jump in. So I want to kind of just document that alongside life itself, obviously the growth of the team. And to be honest, the idea of doing this and what I want to get across the most is the fact that not an awful lot's going to change for me. My life's going to change a lot different. It's not going to be all that different. You know, it's still going to eat my meals, still going to train, still going to work, just maybe eat a bit less, move a bit more. And I want to kind of put that into perspective that, you know, what can be done when your systems and processes are built in a certain way, which I've been working on hard over the last few years. So I truly want to be the best that I can be. So therefore, I spent a lot of time wasting time growing up, losing weight, not losing weight. So that to the smallest detail now, you'll come to gather in the next few weeks, I fucking hate wasting time. So I wouldn't want to waste. If I've got 2 sets in the grand scheme of 2 sets across a week, it's fuck all. So make them count, make them count. And I'm really big on that. For you, for me, I don't care, it's for me. I make sure that they're good. I couldn't leave this gym not knowing that that was all I had to give. So people ask me, you know, in terms of intensity, when should you stop? When you can't do any fucking more, that's when. Write it down. Next week, do one more than that. If you do that forever, you'll be pretty good at, you'll have a pretty good physique. But the point is, you know, we get a lot of people who'll message through or not message through on the basis that they look at me doing fucking that million hat squat and think they were designed only to work with bodybuilders or whatever. And it's, to be honest, it's 15% of our market, you know. Like for me, my passion is about helping the people from where I was when I first started. You know, I was the overweight kid growing up who didn't have a clue. So that is okay, I've taken things to another level in terms of this, but sadly that's my extremist kind of mentality. But for me, it's about showing people what they can achieve and instilling belief, because that was my biggest limiting factor was my belief. Teaching them the systems and the processes and how simple it can be to get from where you are to where you want to be. I tried everything and more, and I fucked up so many times. And I say this all the time, like at the time it was awful. 4 years of my life I wasted, it was incredibly frustrating, but on reflection it's been a blessing because I can now pass on that 4 years of knowledge to someone else who could save for 4, 5, 6, 7 years, you know. And like I said, I just want to kind of detract people away from the fact that, okay, like I mentioned to you with the hat squat, this is fucking purely for me. This is purely for me. So I want people to get out of a fitness journey, what it means for them, and that's just improving life, you know. And the beauty, I think, of my story and my journey is the fact that 2 things. So when I speak to people, I can relate to an awful lot of situations that people are in. I've been there, you know, I've done the shake diets, I've done the Atkins diets, I've fucking binged, had eating disorders, I've done it all. So I can relate and I can empathize with the majority of people, you know. But on the flip side, I feel like I'm in a position I'm qualified to be in a situation where I can call bullshit quite quickly because I was those people. So therefore, when they do provide excuses, which they do, I think, fuck, I've got up at 3:30 for the last 5 years because I didn't want to be the person I was. And this is another thing when it comes to motivation. We spoke about this before. So people are like, oh, I'm not motivated towards being anything or a shoot or a show or a wedding. Well, fucking have a look at where you don't want to be. My motivation comes from where I don't want to be. I don't need a shoot, I don't need a show, I don't need anything. I need to not be the fat kid I was growing up, and that is the biggest motivation I could possibly have. I don't need that fucking thing in front of me, I need the thing that I'm running away from. You're either working towards something or you're running away from something. There's 2 options. So if you want to look at yourself and think, oh, I'm not motivated towards anything, well, think about where do you not want to be. That's probably a driver for me personally, and I think it's a useful tool for you to look at when you're thinking about why you're doing this.
Yeah, and again, come on. Good, and again. Come on. Push, 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 push. anything, come on. Come on, George, come on. Come on. Push.
Guys, and that's a wrap. That is a wrap. Thank you so much for watching along, tuning in, and still watching. Listen, I thoroughly enjoyed that. I thoroughly enjoyed being back. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And what's next? So again, like I mentioned throughout the video, the point of this is to document my mission to show you guys how the systems and processes that I've built have allowed me to now go forward to further drive. Obviously the guys I'm going to work with in terms of the photo shoot prep, we're going to have a photo shoot at the end of this year, which is amazing. I'm obviously in comp prep now, so I'm actually going from what was men's physique, kind of all I've known throughout my career, to entering a classic physique show, which is new to me too. So there's going to be an awful lot of kind of like new poses learned for me. So there's lots going on. Again, driving some further forward, some education, the reasons why the systems and processes that I now have work and how I've implemented them, how you guys can too. So the point of this is to kind of provide as much value as I possibly can throughout, whilst I sort of kill myself, but also have some cool fun. So listen, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Please make sure that you are liking, subscribing, and ringing the bell. Keep this channel going, and if you've got anything that you feel like you would really benefit from the content I can provide, then please just comment below. But yeah, guys, please just share this on to your friends, and hopefully it helps, and I'll see you soon.